Hello and welcome to the news button. There has been wider buzz around the story that India is seriously considering the Russian fifth generation fighter, the Su-57 fighter jets, to replenish its depleting squadron strength. This is being viewed as an afterthought of the French denial to provide source code for Rafale fighters to India during Operation Sindoor. Voices are growing louder and louder to bypass the not-so-believable West and revert to the age-old defense ties with Russia, which is tried and tested. As of May 2025, India almost decided to strike a deal to acquire the Russian Su-57 fifth-generation stealth fighter jets. However, discussions are still on between India and Russia, with Russia offering several proposals to facilitate the acquisition. Let's see what is Russia's offer to India. During the Aero India exhibition last February, Russia proposed to India the domestic production of its advanced Su-57 stealth fighter jets. It was ready for a full technology transfer and for joint production of Su-57 fighters alongside the existing Indian production lines of Sukhoi 30 MKI aircrafts. It even was ready to allow India to customize the fighter jets as per India's needs, along the Su-30 MKI. Rojboron Export, Russia's state arms exporter, made it clear that if India accepts the offer, production could commence within the same year. Again in March 2025, the Russian arms exporter suggested leveraging the existing Su-30 MKI infra in India for the local production of Su-57Es, the export version of Su-57, further sweetening the deal. Despite the great offer, India has remained cautious and tight-lipped and has not publicly committed to the acquisition. The Indian Air Force is evaluating its options to bolster its dwindling squadrons, which have fallen to 31 from a target of 42, especially in light of China's expanding military presence. India's previous experience with the joint fifth generation fighter aircraft, or the FGFA program with Russia, which was based on the Su-57 platform, ended in 2018 due to concerns over the aircraft's stealth capabilities, cost escalations, and technology transfer issues. So the moot question is, what is the potential timeline for such a deal to take effect at all? If India decides to acquire and locally produce the Su-57E, then the manufacturing could potentially begin within the year, if Rojboron Export statements are to be believed. However, given the complexities involved in defense procurement, technology transfer, and setting up production lines, actual induction into the IF would likely take several years. But mind you, if that happens, India may not be the first to acquire the Russian-owned jet to prevail in an air combat with adversaries like China or Pakistan. It is worth noting that Russia has already confirmed that its first export delivery of the Su-57E is scheduled for 2025, with Algeria speculated to be the inaugural customer. Given the unreliable US support and shakiness in defense ties with the West, the Russian offer is a great timely help. India can't ask for something sweeter and bigger. But why is Russia making such a sweetened offer? As already mentioned, India had to walk away from the same project in 2018 due to cost overruns and issues related to technology transfer. Now Russia is prepared to offer everything, of course at a cost. Why this change? Well, apart from the will to revive the old defense ties with India, Russia is facing an awful task when it comes to provide for the humongous production cost of the jets because of its adverse economic conditions due to the longest war in Ukraine. Faced with a scenario of a 3.5 front war and the rising importance of air power, which we saw in Operation Sindoor, India should grab the offer without further delay. If India decides to grab the offer, the earliest possible timeline to receive or begin producing the Su-57E would take at least 1 year. However, the actual deployment in the IF may take several years. That's why the sooner the better. Who knows when would be the next terror strike? And who knows when the IF would have to send air combat missions next. The country would have to sit ready and prepared. Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Before leaving, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you. Thanks for watching.